It's Warchief, and today I'm going to show you how I layer my sounds together. I know there's a lot of ways you could do this, but I'm going to show you the way I've been doing it, and maybe you'll get some inspiration to do it, or you'll figure out a new way to layer your sounds together. So let's get right into it. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. Alright, we're in the same project we've been in since all this began with the Apex sounds. So here I put all my layered sounds in the orange. So I layered my kick, my snare, and then my sub bass, but that's in its own group, and that's just how I like to do it. I like to put it in its own group. It just helps the I guess the distortion of the sub, because I have a low sub and then I have like a mid-range sub that gets that fuzz, and that's just what I call it. It's probably called top end or something. And then my bass sounds right here is these three right here are the same exact sounds as the top, as the yellow right there, but I cut all the highs and lows and it's just the mid. But you can actually replace the mids and get different, like, I guess, textures, and so you could use actually the same rhythm but different sounds pretty much. So I could just change all these sounds out. Well, there's only three. We'll change these three sounds out with some completely different. But okay, let's listen to the drop sounds first. See, it's just all the high end. That's all it's in there. I think I cut it from 1,000 hertz to 12. And then let's listen to these mid-range ones. It's gonna sound, all you're gonna hear is the mids. And then the way I went about with the effects is I did not add new effects to the sounds. I just tweaked them till they sound good to me in that mid range. So I use the exact same effects. I just copy pasted and then I tweaked the effects again for that particular mid range sound. So that's them separated, and then let's listen to them together. It just sounds fuller and like it just sounds cool. That's the way I like to do it. So let's check out our sub. This is our mid like range sub. It's really fuzzy. It's like and then this is our low. And I separated those. The low is cut from 30 and then it's cut at 200. So I'll show you that real quick. Right here, it's 30 hertz and then it's cut to 200 hertz is the sub, and then the mid has that mid range to 200 to 1,000. So that's just that's just how I do it, and it just together it sounds like this. And then we go up to the drums. I don't really layer hi-hats or any of that. I just layer my drums, my basses, and then my drop sounds, stuff like that. We'll listen to the kick first. It's a pretty meaty kick, and the EQ, I only EQ'd the low end. Let you listen to it without the EQ, and then with. That's without EQ. All I wanted was the low end, and that's with it. And then this is my top end right here. Kick. I'll undo the EQ. Pretty punchy still, but I put the EQ on. I just want the mid and the like top end, and then together it sounds like this. It just sounds good, and it's not that it took me a while to find these sounds to sound good together. I just knew what I wanted. I was like, oh, I want like a really punchy, like mid range hit, and then I want a really low kick. So that's what I wanted, and I found it. But that takes time. Eventually, you'll get to that point. First, you'll be like, oh, these sounds don't match up together. And it's like, yeah, they don't, but you'll figure it out as you keep making music. So let's listen to the snare without the EQ and reverb. With EQ reverb. Then we'll listen to the low end. I always put a kick on my snares too, to layer it with a kick without the EQ. Nothing special. This is like really low. and then we will put the EQ on, and it's just that low end. And then together, it sounds so like big. And I put New York compression on my my group right here, and then I'll let you listen to it. It just sounds real. Oh, it just sounds so good. It like when you have those sounds layered. I'll undo the layers. I'll mute these, and then I'll let you listen to it. It just gives it that extra. With that kick, you can really hear the thud, and then with the snare, you can hear that bottom end. That needs the volume needs worked on that low end on the snare. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's pretty much how I layer my sounds together. And it's just, you just need to layer your sounds to get a fuller sound. And I'm going to keep continuing with what I'm doing here. I'm going to just keep talking about my music and how I do things, because I don't know if you guys care how I do it, but I'm just showing you, and I feel like it's easier for me to show you how I do it, and then you guys get ideas from me. And then you share your ideas with me. It's all good. That's how it's like a circle community. But anyways, yeah. Great. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. Put a comment down below telling me what you thought about this video. Is it like get you in the mood to layer your sounds, or is this the thing you were missing in your music? Like, oh man, I should layer my sounds, because it just sounds fuller and all together. And yeah, definitely continue with this. We'll talk about panning, we'll talk about sub, we'll talk about hi-hat arrangements, we'll talk about all that in the future. And I just want to keep going with this. Eventually this is going to be a whole song. We just made the drop first, and I didn't know what I was doing at first, but I have like a clear goal of what I want to do with these tutorials now, and we're going to get a whole song out of this drop right here. We'll start making intros, risers, stuff like that. So anyways, make sure to like, subscribe. Yeah, I already said that. It's boring. Whatever. Have a great weekend. See ya.